are back again with another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you're already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. Now, this is a second attempt at a film review of the 1984 Wonder Woman movie, or should I say Wonder Woman 1984, also known as WW84. So it's Boxing Day 2020 when I'm recording this live, and obviously things can go wrong live. And I've not long since got back from the cinema, and yeah, my hair's still a bit wet. It's very stormy outside in my city, so the window's a bit banging at the moment, so you have to excuse that noise. I'm still in the Christmas spirit with all that wrapping paper. So as I was saying on my first attempt, there is going to be spoilers in this film review of Wonder Woman 1984. If you don't want to hear them, if you haven't already seen the film, then please do not watch further, because it will spoil the movie for you. If you've watched it already, or you love hearing movie reviews before you watch the film, then do stay tuned. So I spent a wonderful 3 days with one of my best friends all across Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. It'd already been pre-planned for months. As you know, I haven't been very well lately, so I finished my antibiotics on Christmas Day yesterday, and it just really cheered me up, you know, really made me feel good seeing them. And instead of going straight back home, I decided to go to the cinema on a self-date. I went for food first, then the cinema. It really relaxes me, very good for my mental health going to the cinema. And as you know, because I'm asexual, which means I lack sexual attraction, I don't get the need, urge, want for partner sexual intercourse. I personally don't like sex in movies. So I try to find movies without any sex in them that are still thoroughly enjoyable. And I love superhero movies. And so Wonder Woman, the second in the series of the Marvel films, I just couldn't wait to see. So I was really, really looking forward to it. And it did not disappoint in terms of action, in terms of storyline. It was absolutely incredible. I personally thought, I do not know how they are going to come up with a better movie or just as equally good movie the second time around. I thought, how can it get any better than this, you know? And in a way, I didn't know what other story they would be coming up with, right? I don't read like the Marvel comics or anything. I don't read any books or anything about it other than, you know, I just watch the film, and sometimes I look at reviews, other times I just like surprises. And so I went, and I didn't know what to expect apart from a good film, and I was not disappointed. The cinematography is absolutely incredible. I studied I studied media studies at college, of which film was a part of, and you used to have to dissect films, like the cinematography and stuff like that in them. And you also have to look at imagery and stuff like that. So in one part of the movie, Wonder Woman was in an all-white suit. Now, well, it wasn't a suit, it was a dress. And that is a symbol of purity, you know, honesty, purity, a pure soul. So in film noir, I studied at college, and film noir is very dark and brooding movies, right? And the evil person, the nasty person, the bad person is always in black, and the pure, innocent heart and soul is always in white. And so that's why she wore the right dress, just in case you didn't know that. And so the whole film was based on the fact that Wonder Woman had moved on in her life in terms of career, and she was like, you know, in doing a kind of like a job and living a kind of what seemed to be normal life, but she was really craving for the love that she lost in Trevor, the pilot who died and pretty much saved the world and saved her last time. Hi, Andy Archer. Merry Christmas, Sandra. Oh, I used to know an Andy Archer from college. I don't know if you're that same Andy Archer from college that I used to know. I took media studies with you, didn't I? Are you the same person? Well, happy Christmas if you are, because it's very strange you've got the same name as him if you are that person. Merry Christmas to you. And if you're not that person, still Merry Christmas. So yeah, that was really weird, because I'm talking about media studies at college. That's very freaky, and you show up. Law of attraction, mindset, attraction. Interesting. Because you've got the same name as someone I used to go to college with. Are you who I think you are? The person I used to go to college with? Let me know. I'd be interested to know. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Whether you are or you aren't, it's nice to have you on here. Lots of love. Anyway, yeah. So basically, Wonder Woman's got this special job where she's looking. She works in this place where they have artifacts, historical artifacts. I don't get into the technicalities. I just look at the entertainment, the storyline, the action, the cinematography, all that type of thing. Yeah, sorry, that's thrown you. You are that person. Oh my God. That is really weird. Because I just spoke about media studies from college and like haven't spoke about that on here. Either not at all or hardly ever. I don't talk about that. It's something I've not talked about. I thought I'd just randomly talk about. That is really freaking. Yes, it has thrown me right out. Like, I haven't seen you for years. Like, really years. And there's a guy in my city that looked very much like you down the road from me. And I didn't know if it was you or not. So I didn't say anything to that person. That's really weird. How can you pop up when I'm just talking about it? I've never spoke about that. I don't even know if people knew that I did media studies at college here. If I did, it would have been like randomly mentioned in an episode years ago or something, or well, months, well, it could be years ago. I'm doing this show for like 5 years now. So anyway, yes, very strange. You've really thrown me now. Anyway, I didn't know you subscribed to this channel or watch me. You're my secret watcher. I have a secret watcher on here all the time. I wonder. So anyway, I need to get back. I've completely forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I just put it in very plain, simple terms because that's what I like to do. Sparky, 666 hail. Oh, thank you. Lots of love to you. Sparky is not asexual, but they have an asexual partner, so that's great. Andy, I saw the first one and really enjoyed it. Hope you're doing all right. Wow, it's just like. It's very strange. Life is getting stranger. I haven't been well, actually, but I'm doing better than I was, in a way. But I've still got some things that I need to sort out in my life. And I'm still signed off by the doctor at the moment to the 15th of January. I've just finished my antibiotics yesterday. Second lot. So anyway, hello, Sparky. Nice to see you. And Andy. Like, it's just so strange. Andy, I used to know from college, for anyone who didn't know that. And I'm really thrown out because it's like, how can you turn up when I just start talking about that college course and I haven't spoke about it on here before, or if I did, it would have been a long time ago. It's just really weird. I'm very freaked out, especially superhero movies, because the whole point is, right, okay, Wonder Woman works at this place that has artifacts. This woman, she's very powerful, not interested in guys because she doesn't need a guy. She's still hankering after her old love, which is Trevor the pilot. And there's this other girl, this woman, and she comes in and she's like, basically they're like archaeologist type people, right? But they got different technical names. And this other woman, she's kind of the opposite of Wonder Woman in the sense she's not meant to be strong. She's meant to be weak. She's meant to be kind of dorky, meant to wear really old-fashioned clothes, really old-fashioned like stockings, not be very good looking. Men are not really interested in her. They kind of find her boring. And yeah, it's just like it's just like, she's the opposite of Wonder Woman. But I already know there's something dodgy about this woman. Like, I did know that from the beginning of this movie. I thought, she's a baddie, she's not a good woman. You can tell that she just looks so fake and phony, and you can just tell that I thought she was actually bad from the beginning. I thought that this woman is pretending to be something she's not, pretending to be scatty, pretending to be dorky. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a dork, right? Being a dork, like if you're into tech, or if you're into like, some people say dork in a bad way, but obviously if you're dork as in really intelligent, like you're into tech, IT, I love that type of thing. I think that intelligence is very attractive. So some people call intelligence dorkiness, and I really don't like that, And a lot of asexuals can be very dorky and very like, but in a good way, because it's very attractive to me, because I'm not attracted to the guy's genitals, as you know, so I'm attracted to the guy's mind and personality. And so if the guy like loves technical stuff, he loves IT and all that type of thing, then it's like really good. You'll have to, thank you for the thumbs up. So you know, that's a very attractive quality. Usually if it's Indian guy, obviously, because I like Indian guys, as you know, that makes me want to kiss them more. So it's like, come here, you're so intelligent, I want to kiss you. So yeah, I like the guy's mind. It's really important for me. I digress. So anyway, I knew there was something wrong about this woman from when I saw her, and I just thought, you seem like you're undercover. You don't seem like you really are the dorky type of, like, dorky. They've portrayed the person dorky in a bad way, you know. So anyway, this person that doesn't really fit in, and kind of like, I think as an asexual person, you can kind of relate to that person. But I knew she was an imposter, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and so anyway, there's this artifact that comes in that's actually one of the stolen artifacts, I believe, in part of the beginning of the film. And anyway, they get this artifact, and Wonder Woman comes across it, and it says she sees like a certain language on there. She can read the language, and she realizes that you can make a wish. Now, at this point in time in the film, the kind of dorky one is saying, "Oh, you know, it's a fake artifact." And you're thinking, well, I don't think it is going to be fake. I think it's going to be real. She's just saying that to cover up. So you kind of know she is bad, really. And then in that way, yeah. But you could argue that she's got issues, which is making her that way. But it's no excuse, is it? Right? People don't have to be that way. They can choose in life. And that's the whole point of the movie, really. We all have choices in life. We do not need to choose to be bad in life. We can have a good heart and soul if we be our true authentic self and speak the truth. That's the whole point of the film in a nutshell, to be quite honest with you. And you know I'm always my true authentic self on here, regardless of what people say, think or do. It's my philosophy in life. I've actually never met anyone as honest as me in my whole life, I have to say. Like, it's like, I do meet really honest people, though. I have got some really honest friends now. But, you know, in general, I don't meet people, like, I'd still say I'm the most honest person I know, to an absolute fault, but not because I believe in honesty, complete honesty, you know? I'm not saying I'm perfect, though. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. So anyway, what was I going back to? So anyway, yeah, so anyway, this artifact, Wonder Woman touches, and she makes a wish, and she makes a wish for the pilot guy that she's been in love with and never stopped loving to come back to life, right? To be here, to be with her. And they do. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know this was going to happen in the movie. So like I said, don't listen to me if you don't want to watch spoilers. Don't listen to me if you want to watch the movie and you don't want spoilers. But basically, he comes back to life. But he comes back to life in another body. But it's really weird because they only show the other guy's body very briefly in the movie. And they show the Trevor that we saw in the first movie. They show him, the real actor playing him, the majority of the time. And so they bring him back to life, but in someone else's body. And so she gets to be with the love of her life again. And I was thinking through the movie, she's probably going to have to lose him again, but please don't make her lose him, because that would just be dreadful if you do that. And if you are going to make her lose him, just make something happen to make him come back at the very end, right? Because I can't stand that, you know, I'm hugely romantic, really into love. I believe in true love. I believe in pure love. Even though I haven't found my asexual soulmate, even though I'm not in a relationship, I'm single, even though I'm still happy to be single, I do believe in true, pure love. I will never, ever stop, because I think despite however difficult life gets, however hard and how painful it is, it's always better to be your true authentic self and not let people change who you are, which in the essence is what Wonder Woman 1984 is about, really. So anyway, going back to the movie, so Wonder Woman wishes to have Trevor back. The woman who's like the dorky kind of woman, she wishes to be like Wonder Woman, to have her strength, her sexiness, her confidence, her power, basically. And then there's this guy who's failing at business. He's trying to sell oil, and all the oil places they've tried to dig, the oil wells are just dry. There is no oil. And he's been trying to sell this oil, and he's so much trying to impress his son. He's promised his son like a helicopter. He's promised his son all this stuff. And you can tell his son just wants his dad's love, but his dad can't see it, right? So his dad is so busy trying to impress his son with materialistic things that he gets really greedy. And he makes the woman who's the dorky woman, who's become like, took on like Wonder Woman's superpowers, if you like, and become a really attractive person, sticking up to guys, fighting guys, all this type of thing. He seduces her to give him this artifact because she's been like examining it from the FBI. And then Wonder Woman has to try and find out what's happened to this artifact. And it takes a while throughout the film for her to discover there's the dorky woman that's now like Wonder Woman herself. It takes her a while to find out that she's got powers. It takes her a long time to find out that she's got the powers, you know? A long time to find out that she's got the powers. And then she eventually, what happens is the guy with the oil, he has literally he has like so disappointed his son, right? And it's because of his insecurity. So in the film, you've got the dorky girl that's wished that she wasn't like that because she's insecure about who she is. And she's not stronger in her own right. And then you get the guy with the oil who's really been lying and who's been cheating the world and conning the world. He's very insecure about who he is. So he can't be his true, authentic self, right? And when these people are themselves, they feel like they're in hurt and they're getting in pain because they're being themselves. And in life, that's true. In life, being yourself, you can feel pain. You can be very vulnerable. But I still believe that it's more important to be your true, authentic self than it is to actually, I believe it's more important to be your true, authentic self than it is to actually lie, you know? Andy Archer, yes, you are very honest. Integrity, 100%. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've always been really honest, as you know. Thank you for that. Yeah. And so yeah, it's just like, so going back to the movie, it's very surreal having you here. Going back to the movie. So yeah, so it takes Wonder Woman a while to figure out the dorky woman's got powers like her. And this guy basically takes her even longer to find out that he's become the artifact, if you like. He made a wish because the artifact grants people's wishes. He made a wish to become the artifact itself. And then when he becomes the artifact, he then becomes the granter of wishes. But when he grants people any wish they want, he then takes away their powers. So he gives them a wish, and then he takes away their other powers. And so throughout the film, you realise that Wonder Woman loses her power. She's losing more and more power, becoming able to be cut up. And she has to, this is where I started getting really upset. She has to give up Trevor the pilot again in order to save the world. So she has to sacrifice the one thing that she loves, that she's always wanted forever, in order for the greater good of mankind. You know, and I've said before on this channel that I will never ever be in a relationship where the guy cannot support the asexual work I do and be proud to be in public with an asexual girl, regardless of whether he's asexual himself or not asexual, but could live without sex, if that's possible. For a guy to be with me without sex, which most of them can't, obviously. So yeah, you know, I can't be with someone who does not respect what I do, because I would rather be on this channel and save millions or thousands or just one life because I've helped someone stop them from doing something they shouldn't be doing to themselves than be with one guy. You know, I'd rather help, you know, I mean, I help lots of people on this channel. I've been doing it for 5 years now, as you know, and I would rather save as many asexuals as possible, change the world where asexuality is concerned, and me not be in a relationship than me be with a guy, keep the guy secret, not be able to be my true authentic self on this channel, him keep me a secret and live that type of life, you know, or stop any work. I won't stop work for asexuals. There are more and more people who did asexual channels and they're just closing their channels, or they're taking the videos off, which is like closing it, right? It's really, really like, why did you do it? You know, was it just a hobby for you? Because I'm in this for a long run. I have been ill lately, but to be off this channel, to be honest, I'm going to get emotional now. To be honest, to be off this channel hurts my soul. And I got really emotional in the cinema, so I am going to start crying now because I couldn't stop crying. I was just like crying. You've seen this mark here? It's like I was rubbing my eyes because I couldn't stop crying. And I found it so emotional because she had to give up the love of her life. And as you know, I've been searching for my asexual soulmate for since 2014 now, and I still haven't found him. And yes, that does make me upset. I do cry about that sometimes because I always believed he's Indian, younger foreign guy in the you know, and I've always wanted the guy, you know. I do want to be with him still, but I'd rather be single and save and help thousands of asexual lives and do the work I do than have a guy who cannot support me in that, who cannot accept that I'm publicly asexual, and that I will be talking about him on this channel. I'm not going to hide a relationship with my future guy. If a guy can't be strong enough to hack that, he's not the right guy for me in the first place. You know, and being away from this channel, being away from you, is just like, you know, I feel like you're my family. You're my online family, you know, and that I need to spend time with you, and I miss you, you know. And so I got very emotional because Wonder Woman had to give up the love of her life again. They had to give up Trevor the pilot. And they were so good in the movie together, and you know, they had lots of like loving scenes. They had lots of like time together. There's a part where she makes this he gets to fly a plane again, and she makes the plane disappear, and there's fireworks going off, and it's so romantic, it's so beautiful, and they're just in the moment together. And this cinematography, like with the lights all in the sky, the cinematography is just incredible, you know, with all the fireworks, and the plane is literally going up in like space, and there's all these fireworks going off, and you can see them all over the sky while they're in this plane, and they're like, she's hitting the plane, and it's one of the most romantic parts of the whole movie, because as you know, I'm hyper romantic. I love romance, I love love, pure love, and you can tell the love between them is totally pure, you know. As you know, I'm asexual. I don't like sex. I don't associate sex with love at all whatsoever, right? I'm not interested in the male genitals anatomy. It doesn't interest me. That's got nothing to do with love, nothing to do with a loving relationship. I'm not interested in that, right? And so this movie has no sex in it whatsoever. It's got kissing when they're in bed, but you know, I couldn't see any actual sex. I don't know if it had implied sex. I can't even remember. I was that in awe of the romance between them that I didn't think it was sexual. Maybe it was implied when they're in the bed bit together, it might have been, but you know, I was just so like, I think it was implied that let's go back to yours, let's get into bed. I think the sex was implied, but you know, there wasn't any nudity in it. There wasn't actually any sex that you saw. But I just felt so much love between these two people that had gone like for years without each other, and they still felt exactly the same way about each other. But he, at the end of the movie, basically let her go. He said, you know, I had my time with you. I had a great time, but you know, you can be with someone else. There's other guys out there that can love you, you know. And so, but it was just so emotional. I got really upset about it, you know, and it's just like, oh my god, does she have to lose him all over again? I mean, because I haven't met my soulmate in this life yet, it's kind of like, you know, like, oh no, am I going to lose him? But you know, sometimes you have to make sacrifices in life for the greater good, you know. And at the end of the film, the whole moral of the story was like, you may wish for things, and if you got your wish, what would you have to pay as a consequence? What would the sacrifice have to be? And is it really worth it? Because you have something else taken away from you. And I think it's very true of life, you know. I think, you know, like we can want a lot of money, and, you know, what is the cost of that? If you're not happy, happiness should always be first priority, you know. We can want to be in a relationship, but unless we're in the right one, the cost of being in a relationship can be like being in a prison cell, you know. Or it can be like just holding you back and from who you're really meant to be with, you know. Like I spell it out when I'm on Facebook dating, you know. I'm doing Facebook dating now. I spell it out. I said I'm not interested in casual relationships or hookups. I'm just looking for a serious relationship. That's it, right? And I don't want sex, I don't want marriage, I don't want kids, and I like living on my own. That's it. If a guy doesn't want that, I move on to the next person, because one day there'll be a guy who'll turn up who will be the right guy for me. And he'll love me for who I am. And if he doesn't, and it doesn't happen, I'd rather my friends be in relationships who want relationships and happy. I'd rather be other people be happy and that I help them, you know, on this channel. I'd rather do that, you know, like being away from this channel has really not been so good for my mental health. It's been like I'm losing in touch with my people, you know, like Wonder Woman feels she has the people, her people, like as she has to protect them and care about them and love them and see that they're okay. I kind of feel like about the asexual community on this channel, you know, that I love and care about you, that I need you to see that I'm in your life, that I'm here, that I'm really an asexual living being. I'm living and breathing asexuality. Asexuality is very, very real. It's not something that's fiction or made up. It's a genuine sexual orientation. I live it and breathe it 24/7. It's who I am as a person. I feel like kind of like you're my tribe, you know, you're the people that I need to reach out to and be part of my life on a daily basis. I need you to be with me. I need to be with you so that you know that you're not alone. You know, loneliness is a killer, isn't it? You know, loneliness is detachment, it's disassociation, it's feeling like you've got no one to turn to and no one understands you. And I know what that's like from my past, you know, and I'm not gonna allow that to happen. And I've had to take time out because I've been in a lot of pain, but it pains me to not be here, you know. And you know, like when you see Wonder Woman and she's like, you know, she's had to give up Trevor again for her people because people, you know, everything's in utter chaos. I kind of feel like I should be back on this channel more and more because I feel like I don't want people to be suffering because I'm not here, because I need to be here for you. I don't, you know, I don't talk about asexuality just for some sort of like whimsical thing. I talk about it because it's from my heart. It's one of my life purposes is to change the world in that respect, one book at a time. But I get it about that. I'm very emotional at the moment, you know, because I didn't expect the film to be so emotional. I thought I'd love it, and I did love it. It was amazing. The storyline was incredible. The like I said, the cinematography was amazing. The action was so packed. The storyline was beautiful in a way. But if you did watch the credits, if you watch the credits like I always do, because I always like to see if there's any little bits of extra stuff in the credits, you will know that at the very end of the movie there was two bits, right? There was one, if you've watched that far, you'll have to, sorry about the window banging, it's really stormy in my city, really stormy, as you can hear. I've tried to wedge the window so it's not making a noise. Do apologise. So, and it was really weird because when I was in the movie, it's very kind of like, part of it felt like it was really stormy, and then you come out into the real world and it's kind of like reflecting how I was feeling emotionally about the film. And it's kind of like, it's a continuation of my upset feelings and pain for the film of like losing a loved one. But they didn't lose them, the loved one let them go, you know? So it's kind of different in a way. And anyway, the guy, remember I said that Trevor comes in back in this guy's body, like Trevor goes, but what is very incredible is the guy's body that he was in, she meets later on, you know, the very, very end of the film, she meets him at like an event. I think, I can't even remember what event it was, but she meets him and he said, I'll see you around. And so you know that he's going to be like the next love of her life, and that's Trevor was in his body. So in a way, Trevor's like giving her permission to be with this other guy. That was the whole point of that kind of storyline as well, that, you know, you've got to let me go, you've got to get on with your life, you're a beautiful woman and you deserve to be with someone, you know. And there was also, if you watch the very middle part of the credits, Adriana, I think is her name, she's come back and you think she's dead. And Adriana was the person who got the gold armor that you'll see in part of the film, and was basically stayed behind to protect the Amazonians. I think that's what they're called, and basically, you know, like ward off all the others while the Amazonians, is it? They, I hope I've got that right. While they fled, she was there with this massive suit of armor, so she took the brunt, and you thought she died, but she's actually in the credits, so you know she's going to be in another movie. Andy, in Superman 1980, he had to sacrifice his powers to be with the woman he loved. Maybe there are some parallels. Yeah. But it's the opposite, isn't it, in this, Andy? Because in this film, Superman 3, 1980, in this film, she has to do the opposite. She gives her powers up to be with. Well, she doesn't know, does she? She makes a wish to have Trevor back, but she doesn't realise that her powers have been taken away from her until she starts bleeding. So she didn't know she had her powers taken away. She thought she still had them, and then she starts bleeding. She starts getting cut and not being as strong and getting hurt, and so she has to sacrifice him to get her powers back. So it's kind of like, you know, the opposite in that way, that, you know, but I do remember what you're talking about, because she has to sacrifice him to get her powers back. You know, some people are more powerful on their own. Like in the Facebook dating, there's one guy and he said, you're amazing on your own. And I know I'm amazing on my own. Like, I'm really super strong on my own. A lot of the time I'm strong on my own than I am in a relationship. So unless it was the right relationship, it would be no good for me, because, you know, it has to be the right person, because otherwise I do lose some of my power. I'm more stronger on my own. So, you know, maybe it's not right for me to be in a relationship. But I still think I've got a soulmate. So I believe, I see people with their soulmate. I know people who've got their soulmate. So I know soulmates exist and they are true. But yeah, so yeah. I like the more modern Superman as well, because in the modern Superman, he loses his powers, doesn't he? And she has to go and get the kryptonite to get his powers back, doesn't she? In one of the movies, if I remember right, she has to get the kryptonite out of the lake, doesn't she? So he gets his powers back. But I think he's still, yeah, that's when he dies, isn't it? Is that Batman versus Superman? I think. I've got that movie. I haven't watched it for ages. But yeah, so I like just was really crying. I'm like, she can't have to give him up again. But I already knew it was coming, because I already thought she's going to have to do it. They're not going to keep him in the movie, because she's going to have to sacrifice that again. Because obviously that's to show her strength of character as well. That she's stronger than anything, stronger than love even. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's really, really strange, you know. But like the weather at the moment is really stormy, and it's almost like I've come out of the movie and the weather is reflecting how I felt in the movie. It's like really weird, but stuff happens like that in life. Sometimes I can think things and people appear evidently connected to something I've thought. I think I've got some superpowers really somewhere. I have like a very ability to, I have strong intuition, and I can sometimes see things before they happen, sometimes. But usually it's not fully exactly how it would be. Something's quite a bit different to the actual scenario that actually happens. But I used to do that a lot, but it used to freak me out, and I prefer not to do it sometimes, because it's not always good things I can see. But yeah, I can usually predict things and they come true sometimes. And I know what happens before it happens sometimes. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So I have the ability to see things in other people that they can't even see in themselves. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Lots of love. So it's kind of strange. I think my strength lies obviously with this channel, helping asexuals, and also writing books is my life purpose. I really know that when I'm not here anymore in life, my books will still live on, and they will still save and help thousands of lives when I'm long gone. I know that. So I have to write more books. I have to finish my Asexual Guide to Sex book, which is the most important book in the world to me, you know. But it's very interesting. Megan! Hello, Sandra. Hope your Christmas was great. Oh, mwah! Big kisses for Megan. I love Megan. Megan has kept in touch with me while I've been poorly on my Asexualise page on Facebook. So thank you, Megan. You're one of the few people via my page. Well, I think you were the only person via my page that actually reached out and made sure I was okay. My Christmas has been very good, actually. It's just I watched Wonder Woman 1984 and I felt really upset. I'm like, I come to watch a happy movie on Boxing Day and I'm crying because it was so emotional. I didn't expect it to be so emotional. I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm just crying and I'm trying, like, and all the tears are flooding down and I'm like, oh dear. I'm not meant to be crying on Boxing Day. Why am I crying? And it's like, sometimes I watch a movie and I think it's going to be so much fun. Thank you for the thumbs up. Lots of love to you. And I think it's going to be so much fun. And I watch it and like, it was really good. The storyline was brilliant. The action was brilliant. The cinematography was brilliant. I loved the film. I'd highly recommend watching it still. Just be prepared to get your hankies out, your tissues out, because you'll need them. Because you know, sounds like I would cry too if I watched it. It's very emotional, Megan. You would cry. You know, obviously I'm hyper romantic. I'm really into pure love and stuff. And like the storyline obviously being asexual, you know, I'm not interested in sex. And the storyline between them two is pure love. I think, like I said, I think in the movie sex is implied that they've had sex when they go to bed together. But you don't actually see that. And it's all, for me, it's like true love, because they even though they haven't seen each other for years, she's not been with another guy. She just loves Trevor. So, you know, and he's immediately come back to be with her. He's not interested in being with another woman. If you didn't already know that, he comes back in the movie, but she has to give him up. This is what I did say, there's spoilers in this video. And I was like, no, I knew it was coming though. I thought she's going to have to give him up, because he can't be, because if he's in this, like, because obviously if you watch a lot of movies like I do, you know that usually you can't change time. You can't change something in time, because if you change something in time, it affects something else. So basically the moral of the story is, even if you have regrets about your past life, or even if you have upset and pain in your childhood or pain in some part of your life, you cannot alter the past, because if you did go back and alter it, it would alter who you are now and alter you meeting people in your life, being where you are. I wouldn't have met my best friends, 2 of them or 3. Well, I got a best female friend who's heterosexual. So I met her through a job I worked at. And then my best asexual friend I met through asexuality. They're my best friend, you know, and I met another best friend through asexuality, although they don't identify as asexual anymore. And then I've got an online asexual homo-romantic Indian friend that's like my best online only asexual friend, you know, because the other 3 people I see in person, but they are incredible. Really, so I do have a soul friend who's Indian, 22. So even though he's not heteromantic, he's homo-romantic, so we're both into Indian guys. He is a beautiful soul. He's very honest with me. I do love him as my friend. He's an incredible person. And we're there for each other a lot. He will do, you know, even if he's really, really busy, he will always make time to message me when I need him, you know. It's really, you know, like, he's so strong for a young guy. I hope to meet a heteromantic Indian guy in the UK like him, because he's just so strong. I've never met an Indian guy asexual. He's homo-romantic, which means he's into guys, but I've never met a guy so strong as him, who's asexual, knows what he wants in life, very, very sure of himself, out to the world about being asexual. Super strong guy. He watches this channel. Hello, Akil, if you're watching tonight. He was on last night's stream. And so he's an incredible guy, you know, incredible person. So, and I was connected in my soul to him from the first time he started messaging and talking. So he is like my soul mate, as in a friend, but not my romantic soulmate. So I do actually have an Indian soulmate who's not, but they're not my romantic soulmate. So I haven't been completely untrue about that. I've actually had that happen, so that's pretty incredible. I'm blessed for that, you know. But yeah, you would cry, Megan. I mean, it's so emotional. It's really romantic, really full of love. It's full of heartache and pain. There's this bit in the movie, right, where the guy who's been trying to get everyone's powers by giving them their wish because he's become this artifact. There's a very bit at the end where Wonder Woman is saying, you know, like, you may make a wish, but what did it cost you? Because whenever you wish for something and you get it, you always end up losing something else. And that is the truth. And it's all about facing the truth and facing the reality of who you actually are, who you're becoming. The reality of, you know, if you do get your wish, if you do get what you want in life, what would you have had to sacrifice to get what you want, you know? And that lies. So the artifact is to do with the god of lies, and it's to show throughout the movie that lies don't get you anywhere in life. They get you heartache and pain and loss. That's what they actually get you. And so, you know, it's a very emotional film, and they have this guy who's the one who's been sucking everyone's power, and they go back through his childhood and how his parents were, dad was abusing his mother. This is really emotional stuff. And how as a little boy he was bullied all the time, and you know, and how the childhood affected him to how he is now. And Wonder Woman was kind of saying a lot of us have all got that pain, that suffering. We all want to better our lives. We all want to change our lives. We all wished for things we don't have. But at the end of the day, if we do get what we wish for, what is the price we're going to pay for that? You know, and do we really need it? It's better to live truly authentically as we are now, as our life has turned out, than to actually go back and change it, because we can't change it. We can only live for now in the moment and make important decisions for our life and for ourselves of who we actually are in the moment. And that's the truth, you know, and nothing good comes of lying. When you're around people who lie and you spread lies yourself, you know, not only do you hurt other people, but you actually hurt yourself, because you don't like yourself. Many people who lie, they don't like themselves. They feel down on themselves. They can't like themselves, but they pretend with ego that they like themselves or their life, but a lot of the time they don't. They're very insecure people. But that doesn't mean to say you need to be around those type of people. You know, people who lie, thanks for the thumbs up, lots of love to you. People who lie, you know, sometimes you have to protect yourself. And if someone's going to lie and not change, you know, you can't be like Wonder Woman who goes around trying to kind of teach them a lesson in a physical way. In some ways, thanks for the thumbs up, lots of love. You have to just let them go sometimes, you know, from your life. And you know, life is difficult, you know. And I think really the Wonder Woman film should be on TV right now, because it's a film that everyone needs to hear with the current situation in the world, you know, people wishing things were different, you know. But you know, if things were different now, like, what else would we have to sacrifice? What else would we have to go through? There's going to be some heartache and pain that you're going to pay the price for anything in life, really. And also, it's about unity. It was about not being greedy and trying to get all your wishes, because when you wish something, sometimes it takes away something from someone else and it makes their life bad, you know. And kind of like the world needs it. It was a really positive message that if you wish things were different, then they might be worse, actually. So I watch an entrepreneur called Gary Vee. He's very brash, and he's very you know, he swears a lot and he tells it like it is. And he often says that the thing is what's going on in the world now, although it's not good, because people are staying in their homes more, it could actually save someone's life, because we could go out and get run over tomorrow, you know, we could go on a plane, or we could get hurt some other way. So actually self-isolating might actually have saved someone's life that otherwise might not be here now. So whilst things are not good because people aren't here anymore, some other people might be saved, because it's all about perspective and trying to think, like, why did this happen? Like, you know, we can think that, you know, if we'd have gone out and, you know, done something, we might have actually not been here because of that, you know. Megan, this is a very good lesson. Oddly enough, earlier I was feeling down about my childhood and how I wasn't allowed to hang with friends and such. And nowadays, I wish that I could have that opportunity. So this does help me feel much better. Thank you, Megan. I was a sheltered child growing up. I'm really glad. Lots of love to you. I'm so glad I'm here with you, because I'm really was feeling very upset that I haven't been doing this stream, because I feel disconnected when I'm not with the people here. I feel like you're my family. I know you're not blood related, but I feel like everyone in this community is my family. And you're the people, you're my people. Like Wonder Woman's got people. It's like the people of the world. I feel like asexuals on this channel community are my people. and that I should be here for them, and I should be connecting with, I belong with you. Do you know what I mean? It's just really strange. Like, the more I spend time away from you as a community here, and I do obviously think about you, Megan, quite a lot, because we're very close in this YouTube channel. We converse a lot. I feel like I losing part of my soul, like not being here regularly. I feel like I'm, what what's happening to me, and it's very weird. My identity is very, very strongly tied to my asexuality, to this channel and the community. It's like I've documented my life for 5 years, and I need to carry on doing it. It's very important for future generations. It's very important for helping people, and I'm glad that this has helped you today. Yeah. I mean, there is a lesson, like you say, to be learned, and that is, like, we can't change the past. Obviously, if we've done things wrong, we can, and we see people now, we can say we're sorry. We can change ourselves in the moment, for now and for the future, but we can't change the past. Like a lot of entrepreneurs I see, they say that they wouldn't change their past because it wouldn't have led them to who they are now. If I hadn't have been bullied, if I hadn't had bad things happen to me, if I hadn't had bad relationships, I wouldn't be able to help people on this channel. I know that. I don't wish me to have that. Like, in the past, the child that was me in birth certificate age, I don't wish that child to go through what she did. And it did upset me, because it reminded me of my childhood, because my childhood was difficult. It was, there was a lot of problems. I had bullying, and I was sheltered in a way as well, because I lived out in the countryside. I didn't really ever go to a city till I was like 15 years old. And I didn't really understand the world. I was very introverted back then, very shy. Up to the age of 10, I was very, very shy. And, I didn't really have any friends. Only one friend I got, she ended up not being my friend. And, it's very emotional. The film was very emotional. Very right. I agree completely. Oh, bless you. Love you so much, Megan. And so, it's just like, sometimes in life we have to understand that things happen, and they happen to be with a future self. Like, I am still experiencing some issues in my life at the moment, and I've been on antibiotics. I've been on 2 lots, and something's happening in my life at the moment I'm not allowed to talk about publicly. I can't say what it is, and it's been causing me a lot of problems. And I'm going to get very tearful. This is a very tearful thing, because I just thought I'll stream, even though I've been crying at the cinema and I couldn't stop crying. I thought I'm going to cry on this stream. But as you know, I always believe in being your true authentic self, right? I don't believe crying is a weakness. I believe it's a strength. There are so many people that hide their emotions, that can't show and express their emotions because they're taught it's weak. It's not how you're meant to be in life. You're not meant to express who you truly are because you can't be yourself. I don't buy that idea. I buy the idea that there's people who don't want you to be yourself. I know there's people who who target people like me because they're narcissistic, because they're unempathetic, because they cannot accept someone who is open, who is honest, who will cry, who will express their emotions and feelings to the world. They like to target people like me. I know that. But I am not changing for those people. I'm not becoming emotionless. I won't do that. I saw so many people in my life who are living their untruth. They're living for what people think of them. They're living a lie. They change like a chameleon to whoever's around them. I don't do that. Is it good for me all the time? No. If I didn't tell the truth, or if I warped the truth, if I wasn't myself, I might get on like in a what's it called, artificial way with other people more, but I can't be a robot. I'm not here to be a robot. I can't do that life. It goes against my soul. I have to live as my soul needs me to be. And I went to a very dark place some days ago before Christmas, dark place that I've ever been before for over 8 years in my life. I was disappointed in the sense I went to that place in my head, you know, because I did that video about me, you know, like I used to be depressed and suicidal, and I hadn't felt that way since 2012. And something's going on in my life that I'm not allowed to talk about publicly. And it made me feel so bad that I got my mind, I'm not depressed, but my mind went into a state of the way I would think when I was in that depressive state. So it went, I don't like saying it because I always like to be positive, but it went that one time into a state of suicidal thought. But it wasn't just a thought, it was really bad. And I don't know where to tell you on this channel, because obviously I did the motivational, inspirational video, which is totally true. I haven't felt, you know, I have, like, because I used to suffer depression from years as a child, you have to understand that, like any muscle, you have to exercise it. So in order to stop being depressed, you have to exercise a happy muscle. You have to have, like, I have, like, things that make me happy. I have to do them. The more I do them, the happier I become. The less I do them, the less happy I become. And my mind can try and wander into dark places, and I bring it back all the time. You know, I'm like, that's not who I am anymore. I'm this girl. I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not that person. And I haven't had a suicidal thought properly. Like, things cross my mind occasionally, but they're not concrete. They're not planned. They're just like, occasionally they're fleeting moments of how I would think. It's like, oh, in this situation in the past, I would have thought this. And it's like, but you're not that person anymore. But this was very bad. This was like a suicidal thought, which I don't like admitting, but I want to tell you the truth because I always feel it could help someone. And it was horrible. It was me planning. And I hadn't really, even in the past, I didn't used to plan things that much. I used to think about stuff a lot, like bridges and other stuff. But I didn't used to plan and calculate things that way. So it really freaked me out. I woke up from a dream. I'd had a dream about wolves, and lots of people like wolves, but my ex, who was bad for me, the ex of 8.5 years, he wasn't bad sexually, he was good like that, but in every other way. And he used to be like having wolf t-shirts, look like a wolf. And so for me, wolves aren't a good thing. They represent danger to me, because not because they're a horrible creature, not because they're a bad thing in general. You know, I don't go around thinking, oh, wolves are horrible and nasty. I see that they've got quite cute faces. They're like dogs in many ways. But I know whenever something turns up in my life that's to do with a wolf, usually, it means it's a bad thing for me, like a bad omen. Don't go near it. And it's like symbolic, right? And so I had this dream, and it had wolves in it. And then I woke up, and then I thought about this, and it was horrible. And I haven't been to that dark place for years, and it was worse than I had. But I came out of it. I got myself out of it. I just had to think that it's not me anymore. That is the old me. That is the old version. I'm not that person. I need to sort this. The thing I can't talk about publicly, I need to sort it out, because it's no good. You know, like, I shouldn't be having that thought. It's really not good for me. I can't be in that state. I need to do whatever it takes to not be in that state, right? So I thought to myself that is the old me. I talked myself out of it. I thought asexuals need me. And, you know, I'm not going to be able to help asexuals if I did anything like that. And, you know, and I just need to talk myself out of it. And I journaled. I've got a book that I started. Where is it? I think is it this book, or is it another book? Might be another book, actually. I don't know. No, it was this. It was this book here. It didn't, but I started thinking about another book I want to write as well. So, you know, it wasn't very long. I wrote that, and I wrote that. I'm not going to show you it, but because I hadn't done much writing lately. And when I don't write, that affects me as well. And so, yeah, I started journaling, writing, and while I was writing, I thought about a book that I wanted to do, just a book from me. Like, I think sometimes I should be writing some. Obviously, I've got the Asexual Guide to Sex book, which is super important to me. But I also think I need to write maybe some. I've been thinking about writing just some small books for asexuals based on like one topic that I'm solely writing about, like, or writing a smaller book. Because I just think it would. I need to get more books out for asexuals. And when I interview people, which I think is what people want, it's what the people like the most, it just takes me a long time to do. Like I'm talking about a year. At the moment, it's over a year and a half I spent on the Asexual Guide to Sex Work. It's a very important book, though. And I've got books lined up for more books that I want to interview people for. But I kind of think I should be doing some shorter books, quicker for me to write, that get out to the market quicker as well. Or maybe books for people who aren't even asexual, you know, other sexualities, because I'm very good at dating and relationship stuff. And I feel like I need to be getting that out more. Megan, I can relate to that immensely, and I can understand fully how that feels. It's the worst thing ever. When I was 16, I was trapped in a dark place because I was dealing with problems from a bad school. And having my friends separated from me because of the school and my mother. Writing a journal is very helpful. I've done that for 2 to 3 years to help me not be stressed and upset. Thank you, Megan, for understanding. You know, like, it's hard for me because it's like, do I admit that? But you know, I have to admit it. I have to. This channel is all about honesty and helping other people, regardless of what people think. And I can't hide it. If I hide it, then I'm not living my truth. And you know I have to live my truth. So I have to live the truth, you know? And yeah, so I wrote in the book, and I taught myself out of it, wrote in the book. I told myself it's not that person anymore, like, I'm not that person anymore, like, asexuals need me. I wrote in the book, and then my homo-romantic friend, Akil, he messaged me. He just happened to message me at the right time, and I talked to him about it. And the more I talked to him, the more you talk to someone about these things, the less likely they are to happen. I don't know if you knew that. But it's like, because I have dreams sometimes that can come true. It's a really bad dream I don't want to happen. Then I will tell the person. I will tell a person what I dreamt about them if it's horrible, to stop it happening to them. It's just, it's something I have to do, and it's not nice doing that, but I have to do it, because if you tell it, if you speak it out loud, most of the time it doesn't happen usually. But it's not always the case. Sometimes it can still happen, because I had one dream that wasn't great, but it was a bit strange, and it came true. But because it came true, I was kind of able to save that as well, from getting any worse, and potentially save the thing. So, you know, it was a dream that wasn't, you know, could have, the thing could have ended up being worse. And it, because I knew it, I recognised it when I saw it in real life. I could stop it getting worse, if you know what I mean. It's I know I talk in riddles, but I know what I mean. But it's just hard when you say that you can see something's happening before they happen. It's kind of like a weird thing to say publicly, you know. Some people won't believe you, and if people don't believe me, that's fine. Like, it's hard to believe it myself sometimes, but I can't do it with everything. But some things, like, I dream come true, but in a different kind of way. Like, it's slightly off. If I dream something about one thing or one person, either it was not that person, it's someone else in the dream, or there's something slightly different. So I dreamt something that came true, but it was set in a sci-fi scene, but the actual thing that happened to the thing came true. Just obviously it wasn't in a sci-fi setting in real life. It happened in real life in a normal setting. That type of thing. It's strange. Megan, oh, I know. I'm the exact same way. My dreams have come true quite a lot. Really? Oh my gosh. Me and you are very like that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I used to hate it when I was a kid, because it's like, I don't want to be dreaming this stuff. Some of the stuff I was like, I just don't want to know. And so I tried to stop a lot of it. I do still try and stop some of it. Like, I don't want to see things. Like, some people see ghosts and stuff. I don't want to see that. I'm not interested in seeing that. I choose not to see that type of thing. I don't like supernatural stuff. I don't like watching horror or supernatural films. I stay clear of them. And there's lots of asexuals that love horror movies. I can't stand them. They freak me out. And they upset me, and I don't want that. Even though I'm upset about this film, but it's kind of like in a good way, because it's kind of like I'm upset because obviously there's a huge love story going on and a loss of love, and then obviously the childhood stuff. Megan, you dream bad and good. Well, that's good that you have good dreams as well. I don't like going to sleep. Usually, if I go to sleep at 4 till after 4, I'm fine. So if I go to sleep before 4, if I go to sleep before 2, it's okay some of the time. I have to be really tired. Otherwise I dream stuff and can remember it all, and I'd just rather not. So I'd rather go to sleep like really crazy times. Because it's better for my health actually to go to sleep at 4 and get up at midday. But obviously if I'm doing an employed job, I can't, working for someone else, I can't just do that. It's just cocks all that up really for me. So it's not so good, because I worked out that, you know, like I don't be the person that sits there in bed going, oh, I can't sleep. I actually think, well, I'm not meant to sleep now. I've worked out a different sleeping pattern that works. Megan, bad one was when in my dream my grandfather fell and got hurt, and then about some time in the future he had to go to the hospital. Good dreams coming true. Happen more though, I guess. Oh, he had to go to the hospital. So you have that ability as well. That's really strange. Well, it's really weird because the guy, Megan, that's in this stream chat called Andy Archer, I used to go to college with him, and he was in my media studies class. And I was talking about my media studies class at the beginning of this video that I don't even think I've talked about hardly. If I have talked about it, it must have been ages ago, because a lot of people don't really know I studied media studies at college. Something I'd hardly ever talk about. And then he appeared, and I haven't seen Andy for years. It's like really freaked me out. Andy did freak me out. He's even put, that stopped you in tracks, didn't you? I'm like, yes, it did stop me in my tracks. How can I do that? It's just strange. Very strange, but it's really weird. Like I spoke about my best friend Sam, and Sam's appeared in the stream. I've talked about someone else and they've appeared in the stream. I'm like, oh my god. Ha ha ha, that's incredible. Yes, it's very incredible. It's kind of like psychically, I don't know what it is. It's like calling someone, beam me up, Scott. It's very weird. Very, very strange things go on in me, you know. That's why I know I'm not normal. I've known for a long time I'm not normal. I can see things. It's like, do you, Megan, feel when you can see things that others can't? Do you have that with people as well? Because I have it with people. I can see when someone's not genuine. I can tell someone's not being their true authentic self. I can tell when people are hiding something. I can tell when people are lying. I can tell when people are not being the truth. Even if tons of people believe something about a person, I can see if they're a liar and not telling the truth. Megan, yes, for sure. And it's like having a superpower, but it's like other people don't believe you, or other people can't see what you can see. It's very, very weird and strange, because it's like I get that with people in person in real life a lot, and you know, everyone will think a person's really good, and I'm like, why can't you see the truth that this person isn't good? Why can't you see the reality of them? To me, it's just like plain as day. You know what I mean? And they just can't see it. And it's like, it's a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing because it's the truth, you can see it. But it's a curse in the sense that, like, people don't believe you, or people can't see it for themselves. And it's like, you feel like you're the only one who can see this type of thing. Megan, I have a grandfather in another state on my dad's side, and I used to be afraid of him when I was a toddler. The older I got, the more I saw how badly he treats my father. So you sensed it, Megan. You're like me. You can sense things about people. You're spot on. You can sense things about people. Yeah, I can do that. It's really strange. It's really strange. I once went past a guy, and that's one of the most weirdest things. And I thought he was with a girl, and I thought he's doing stuff to this young girl he shouldn't be doing. I have no proof. I didn't even speak to the guy. He just went past me, but it's really weird. I'll never know for sure if I was right about that. But yeah, it's really weird. You were absolutely right. Yeah, you see, the thing is a lot of people, like, I have anxiety, right? But anxiety is also like a superpower. Like, people see it in such a negative way. Like, oh, if you've got anxiety, you've got a problem, you've got to get rid of it. Actually, anxiety helps protect you. It shows you when there's someone around you that's not right. Anxiety for me, because I'm intuitive as well, anxiety and intuition sometimes go together, and insight go together. And the anxiety, like, my anxiety usually is right. Like, because I've had a lot of counselling in the past, And usually you're meant to be able to prove that your anxiety is no good for you, so therefore you need to get rid of it. But my anxiety has saved my life, really, because I had a fall. I fell head first down 11 stone steps. But I was able to think whilst I was falling that I needed to relax my whole body as much as possible, otherwise it would hurt more. And therefore I had a less damaged body and I didn't break anything. It's not normal to be able to do that. But the anxiety gave me this great superpower to be able to do that. Megan, I would have to kind of see their body language, their reactions, or how they speak to be able to get a sense of their nature. Megan, as weird as it is, I didn't like Miley Cyrus as I grew up. Oh, really weird? You didn't like Miley Cyrus? That is strange. I did a film review about that film and it made me feel bad. Andy, it's a bit spooky. It is spooky because I was actually saying to someone, my friend that I've just seen over Christmas, I think I was talking about you and so I used to know you because I said that there was a person who lives near me that looks like you as well, like an older version of you, and I didn't know if that was you. But the person's never actually spoke to me. They look at me all the time though when they pass me, so I didn't know if that was you. They seem to live down the road from me in my city, but you didn't used to live in my city, so I don't know if that ever has been you. But this person comes past and they're always looking at me, and it's like, oh, kind of weird. And that's how I was. But it's really spooky. It's very spooky. It's like, how can I talk and then this person appears? But yes, so yeah, so yeah, Miley Cyrus was weird. I've never had a bad feeling about Miley Cyrus in general. It's just when I watched the movie, it was no good because it reminded me of my childhood that I didn't. Yeah, yeah. Because Andy, how did you even find my channel? You've been following me on the internet somehow because I haven't spoken to you for years. So how did you find my channel? I'd be very. Or did you know from years ago? I don't think I did. No, you can't have done because I didn't know. I didn't know I was asexual back then. I knew I didn't like sex back then, but I don't think I knew I was asexual. No, 2014 I found out I was asexual. I don't think I've seen you since then. But I knew I didn't like sex back then and sexual stuff. Because I've never liked it. Just I didn't know I was asexual at the time. But yes. It's very spooky. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, so Megan, you've got insight like me then, which is, yeah, I didn't know you were going to say that. So yeah, I mean, I think, childhood, if you've not got good childhood, it does affect you. There's no, Megan, the universe works in strange ways. Ha ha, very strange. But, yeah, I mean, clearly, me going into a bad mindset the other day, that's a wake-up call that I need to change my situation, like, pronto. So particular situation I can't talk about publicly, but, yeah, and also, like, people think anxiety is a problem, but it's only a problem if it takes over your life and it's not good for you. But it does anxiety actually is like a superpower. You can have insight about people and sense things about people that you just usually can't. And so to get rid of anxiety completely can actually be a bad thing. It can be dangerous. It's just that anxiety can take over your life and stuff. But if you've got genuine cause to be anxious about something, then you should be. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, usually anxiety is, for me, traditionally in the body it's used as a response to potential danger, but with me usually, actually that situation is dangerous for me to be in. It's like dangerous to either my soul or my emotions or my mind, or the person's no good for me. And so yeah, it's very important, I think, to actually not, like, everyone else thinks kind of some things are bad, but I see them in different ways. I think maybe I should write a book about the superpower of anxiety. I think that could be a good alternative, because people always put no, it wasn't you, Andy. Right, okay. I'm glad you confirmed that, because I kept seeing this guy all the time and he kept looking at me like he knew me. And he ended up, I think, living down my road, and it was just weird because they did look like you, but like an older version of you, because I haven't seen you for years. So yeah, it wasn't you. I'm glad you confirmed that. Megan, it's like feeling upset, worried, or bothered by something, but you're unsure why. Yeah, I mean, with me, I mean, sometimes I wake up and get upset, and I'm not quite. I don't expect it to be like that, and then I'm like, there's something going on internally that I need to reflect on, and I need to understand why I'm like that. But usually, I know most of the time why. Like, because I'm very self-aware, I analyze my feelings and emotions constantly, probably to not a good way, but no, I constantly analyze my feelings, emotions, I constantly analyze situations, which is part of anxiety again. But then, I think people who have got anxiety are very self-aware, and self-awareness is a good thing. Megan, at least that's how it works for me. When sensing something with the wrong people. Yes, I understand now. So yes, well, with the wrong people, I can usually tell when I can usually tell I meet or speak to someone they're not being honest. Usually, even from a few texts or a few things they say in a few text messages, or even a first text message, I can tell now because I can read what they've not written or what's opposite in the text. They just contradict themselves. It's like I had a guy on Facebook dating the other day. He's like, I said, are you here for? I said, because in his profile he said he's not working yet. He was studying. And then I said, oh, so you're in the UK just for study? He's like, no, I'm working for my uncle's business, and I'm never going to go back to my country. And then he started saying, I said, so how long are you staying for? When you're studying, it's like, oh, my studies for 5 years and I'll settle here. And I thought, no, you won't, because you've said that you weren't studying, basically. You're working for your dad's business. So in 2 texts, I pretty much worked out he's lying. So off he goes. So I'm just like, no, you're not telling me the truth. I don't believe you. Off you go. So yeah, so I understand what you're talking about now. Yeah. When seeing something with wrong people, we feel upset, worried, or bothered by something, but you're not quite sure why. I do have that feeling, yeah. When I meet someone, I feel that they're bad, and I can't say exactly why. I don't trust them, and I know they're not trustworthy. I can just tell. They have like an aura about them, I think, and a look about them, or just an aura. But I'm very good at spotting scammers now. Like on ASAP, I spot so many scammers. All they have to do is say hello to me, because their profiles are nearly identical to all the other previous scammers. The things they say in their profile and where they're from is just like, why even bother? They just try and like say that it's like they go, hello. I'm like, look at the profile. Oh yeah, right, okay. Fake picture from the same area of the United States you're always in. And like, oh, I just want true love. It's like, no, you just want to be someone's sugar daddy. I keep getting the sugar daddies on. It's disgusting. I'm not interested. It's like, what makes me really like laugh, not laugh as in funny laugh as in really? It's like loads of guys on Facebook dating are out for sex. And it's like, it's easy to get sex. Why the hell do you have to make the effort on Facebook dating to go and get it? I'm on Facebook dating not to have sex, because it's more of an effort to find someone who doesn't want sex. So why are you bothering to do Facebook dating? Because it seems like nearly all of them want to hook up. There is a guy that's friend requested, that's become my friend on Facebook, who's not asexual, who asked me out to dinner, actually. But I said, that's fine. But I said, well, unless you can live without sex, we couldn't have a relationship. We could only be friends, because I don't have sex. I'm asexual. I'm not interested in that. And that's what a lot of them ask me on there. Like, oh, so what is on the table then? If sex is not on the table, what sexual stuff do you like to do? It's like, well, nothing. I just like kissing. I have no sexual acts. I'm not interested in any sexual acts. Not interested in sex. Not interested in sexual acts. I just like kissing, and more kissing. And I'll kiss a guy's chest if he's not got hair on it, but I'm not interested in kissing him below the waist. It's just not interesting for me. It's boring. I'm not doing it. I've been there, done that, and ugh. That's my past life. I'd rather not ever. I don't want that back again. Now I know I have a choice, because obviously before you find out there's other asexuals, you think everyone in the world is wanting sex, so there's no way you could get someone who will love you without it. But then as time goes by and you go join the asexual community and you realise there's actually thousands of people out there that are asexual, just a lot of them are hidden, then there's potential to be with someone without sex and loved for who you are without it, pure love. And therefore like with Facebook dating now, I think I'm getting so used to being rejected. I'm just like, yeah, bring it on, baby, reject me. And I'll just be like, next. When I say reject, a lot of them want sex and I don't. So I'm just like, next. Okay, you want sex, next. But they don't read my profile. It's so annoying. I'm like, did you read my profile? It's like, well, I got a guy essay. Oh yeah, I read it. I was like, well, I'm actually, I looked at the profile again. I'm like, actually, I'm looking for a non-smoker. So clearly you didn't, and you've got a beard, not really into beards, but then smoking's just, I can't have. You know, it's like, I even got someone at Asexuality approached me. It's like 50 something. And I clearly put in my profile, I'm into younger guys. I mean, like, I'm not anywhere near 50, and this guy's like 57 or 58. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, clearly, if I like a guy in his 20s, 30 max, it's not going to be viable for me to be with a guy who's like much more decades nearly older than me. Like, you know what I mean? He's way older than me in birth certificate. Like, you know, he's nearly 60. It's like, that's quite a long way from where I am. You know what I mean? It's just like, ugh, not my type at all. But there you go. But yeah, so I really understand you. So like Megan, you've got kind of superpowers, like a superhero like me. It's quite good, but it's also difficult sometimes because, you know, it makes you very more susceptible to pick people's emotions up, more susceptible to feeling people's pains, but also more susceptible to knowing someone's not telling you the truth. Megan, haha, someone scared me on Facebook yesterday. It started as a sketchy conversation with a guy in his 30s calling me pretty and then saying he is his wife looking for a third person. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, that is horrible. I mean, a guy in his 30s calling you pretty, I just say I've got a boyfriend and block him. Asshole. Sorry, I'm swearing on my channel, but yeah, can't be doing with people like that. Because of that, I left a gothic group and took down my selfie. Oh, really? Oh, right. Was he in the gothic group? Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you can just block the person in the group. But yeah, you might want to just remove it if you're gonna have people like that in there. You know. It's just disgusting. I actually seen on Facebook dating someone wants a third person, but some people like threesomes, which fair enough if you do, but it's just not something I'm into. I think it's hard enough having one person without having a blooming threesome, and I certainly don't do sex anyway, which is what they want when they say threesome. That kind of stuff makes me extremely paranoid. Well, I mean, you know, like, it's just disgusting. I mean, obviously, there's nothing wrong with you. It's them that's the problem, not you. Whenever someone's being like that, clearly they're just being weird, you know, because it's just like saying someone's pretty. I hate it when they don't know you and they start going, hello, my pretty one. Hello, my dear. A lot of them are just scammers. They're old men just out to whatever, really. I get them on ASAP loads. Hello, pretty is like blog. Hello, pretty is like blog. It's like, ugh. It's usually from old blokes saying that. It's not actually a really nice, good-looking bloke a lot of the time. I know there's some young guys on my Facebook that will say, you know, you're gorgeous or pretty, but I know who they are. They're on my Facebook friends list. It's a bit different. They're younger guys anyway. Actually, guys I aesthetically think are good looking, but you know, and like someone will say, oh, lovely or gorgeous to a photograph, that's fine. But saying something like that is disgusting. You know, it's just like hideous, you know. I mean, I appreciate people have different sexual tastes, but it's just the way it's done. You wouldn't say that to a stranger, would you? Do you know what I mean? I blocked a lot of random people who sent me friends requests, because people I didn't know. Yeah. I mean, Megan, my block list on Facebook is huge. I've got so many blocked people. I did a video on this channel a long time ago about, you know, blocking people from your life, you know, just completely blocking them out of your life, because at the end of the day it's not worth it, you know. Like, there was a person who used to be my friend, female, and she wasn't nice to me in the end, and she was like trying to connect with me on Facebook again, and I just blocked her. She was trying to connect with me on LinkedIn. It's like, no, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I don't trust you. You've not been nice to me. Why should I have you back in my life? I've moved on now. I don't need that person in my life anymore, you know. And she didn't say she was sorry. She just acted like nothing had happened. let's carry on. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, ugh. It's like, no, if you can't even be bothered to understand how you upset me and say you're sorry, you ain't coming back in my life, mate. Not mate. You know, I have nice friends in my life now. You know, I don't need horrible friends. I've got really good close friends, and they're very important to me, you know. And I did have a fantastic Christmas because my best friend Andy spent Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the majority of Boxing Day today with me, and they just made my Christmas so special. We were just like a couple of kids together, like watching like YouTube music videos together, watching Dog Tanyan together. Do you remember Dog Tanyan? I love Dog Tanyan. We watched some Muppet Babies episode with Muppet Babies. We watched 2 episodes of Dog Tanyan, so we were watching cartoons in the early hours of this morning, and they were like you know, like they're my support bubble. Oh, nice. Yeah, so it was really sweet. They're the only person in my support bubble, so we're still in tier 2 where I live, so we can see, like, I can see if I live on my own, we can see one person in our support bubble. So yeah, and it's really sweet. It's just like a real best mate, you know, like hanging out together, like obviously non-sexual because we're just friends anyway, but it is non-sexual, you know, like no romantic stuff going on as well. Even, you know, where, you know, best friends, but you know, not that way. And so, you know, like if they're in my room, like I'll be sat on one seat, they'll be sat on the other, like that type of thing, you know. So separate like that. But you know, it's really good fun. It was really nice hanging out with them, chatting till the early hours of the morning. That's like my dream type of, like, I mean, I want to meet a romantic guy which would do that type of thing with me as well, obviously, because that's like my dream type of romantic relationship as well, is like hanging out with someone and to the early hours of the morning chatting about anything and everything, being completely open and honest, sharing secrets, and watching, like, you know, like we were chatting about each other's favorite songs together. We're playing music we both liked, and we're very different and lots of tastes of music, so we're listening to each other's taste in music. They're younger in birth certificate than me, but they're actually older in quite a lot of ways than me, because like I said, I'm not really anything to do with my birth certificate. I'm like completely young. So yeah, I'm much younger than that, really. So yeah, it's very interesting to say the least. But I had an amazing 3 days with them. I have lots of paper. I had these, I'll be revealing my presents on another stream. But I had those 2 presents I opened on my last one, you know. I've got the pushing, see? The pushing emoji come to life. And that's a zebra. I found out that's a zebra, and I got all paper and everything. It's my mum's paper, but yeah, I will be revealing my asexual Christmas presents on another stream. So yeah, really, really nice. So I've had a great time. I had sugar-free chocolates. I've got 3 movies to watch. One is Frozen 2. So I think I've already done a review of Frozen 2. But I've got 2 movies to watch that I have not reviewed. Have I reviewed one of them? I might have reviewed one of them that I saw at cinema, I don't know. Or have I reviewed both of them? I might have reviewed all of them because I've seen them all at the cinema. I'm like thinking I've probably reviewed all of them now, maybe. Oh well, I might do more reviews now. I've got them again, up-to-date ones. But yeah, I like doing my movie reviews are very popular on this channel, actually. They're one of the most popular things. But I got sugar-free chocolates. I got this top for Christmas from my mum. This one here. I have to show you this. Oh gosh. This is a Henley, not these, but you know, I've been cold. So yes, I love the colour. The hoodie. I love hoodies, as you know. My hair's still straggly because I've been out in the rain because it's like really wet, but I've been cold, so I had to wear these. You know, so yes. Anyway, I would highly recommend watching Wonder Woman 1984, but be ready with the tissues because it's a real tearjerker. Fantastic special effects, fantastic action, fantastic storyline. I loved it incredibly. It's a really, really good movie. You should see it. Be prepared to get tearful. I'm going to love you and leave you for now anyway, and wish you a very brilliant rest of your Boxing Day, which there's about 15 and a bit minutes left, no 16 minutes. I'm going to say thank you for everyone being in the chat. Thank you to Andy. Not sure how you found my channel, but I'm sure all that will be revealed. Thanks to Sparky as well, and also thanks to Megan. I love you to bits, Megan. You're awesome. And everyone else that's been watching tonight, I know I've had quite a few watchers. Thanks for the thumbs up. Anyone else who hasn't given me a thumbs up yet, I'd really appreciate it because it does help raise awareness of asexuality, because obviously more people can see these videos. And yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Merry Christmas, Merry Boxing Day. And I will see you soon on the next video live stream, which I hope to be soon. And I might go and watch some more movies tonight, I think. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video live stream. Take care and see you soon. And don't forget to embrace your quirky and each other's. And I love you to bits. Thank you for being here with me. I'm really glad to be streaming. Just makes me feel so good to be here. And I'll see you soon. Megan, see ya. Have a lovely evening, Megan. Lots of love to everyone. Bye, Andy. Bye, Megan. Bye, Sparky. Bye, everyone else. Lots of love. Bye. Take care.